folks, and welcome back to the stream. How we're doing today? Hope you guys set it for more 7 days, and today there is a new update for the game. Crazy. So we're gonna go through the changes before we get into the game. We got Dracor, Game Dog, Nahiko, Kit, Yuzol, Bully, Wolf, Bearded, Chris, Deku, Edman. How you guys all doing? Hope you're doing well. Is your activation and rate in Walker Sim as 96, like the default? For miles away attacking you, you're probably making a bunch of noise. So, yeah, new update. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. So, update 2.6 Experimental is here with a group of fixes, tweaks, and gameplay changes. Dew collectors now require jars as fuel to produce water. I guess that's good. No magic jars anymore. Jars no longer require the crucible to be crafted, though. Meaning that we're essentially just back to normal. We're just back to before jars were removed. The only difference is that we now have still the chance for them to break, right? That's the only difference, because they pedal back on this now as well. So my walk sim settings, I can give you that real quick. Before we get into it, not export, import. Okay, can you go away, please? There we are. Those are my settings right there. If you can see it, it's kind of small. If I turn this up, though, it doesn't get much bigger. Only this get bigger, right? Yeah. Hey, let go, Mr. Grammar. Grammar. How you doing? Grammar. Grammar. Jargate. We went back in time. Yeah, this is what I use. I use respawn off, but respawn only spawns at the edge of the map anyway. Well, you can change it. What's possible is that you're maybe not playing with it off. If the zombies are being like too sensitive to sound, you can always turn the sound scale distance off. Or, well, not actually that one. You can remove enhanced sound awareness. If you really don't like that, you can just tick that off. Yeah. Hope you got it. Okay, so here we go. 2.6 is out. Dew collectors now require jars as fuel to produce water. Jars no longer require crucible to be crafted. So we're pretty much just back to before everything. And we now need the jars for the dew collectors. Also, what do we need the dew collectors for now? Like, what is the point of them? Right? Because before it was like, yeah, it's kind of hard to get your hands on water. Now it's really easy to get water. But you're limited by jars. Now you can just craft jars, right? I guess with just the forge, right? So meaning that what's the point of dew collectors at this point in time? I just don't understand. But I don't blame. I think this is a good thing though, that it's required jars, so it doesn't just magically produce jars, because that was like the best way to get jars before you got the crucible and all that stuff. So the default chance has been set to 60%. Zombie experience of a rebalance based on type, HP, and damage. That's kind of interesting. Add a tougher biome spawn zombies to the snow and wasteland biomes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure what that means, but we'll get into it. Okay, so what's been added? Replace property list of zombie experience values at the top of entity class XML. Added roaming sounds for Animal Chicken and Animal Chicken Hostel? Animal Chicken Hostel? Wait, hold on. Is there a... Is that because of, is that like a TI thing, or are they seriously like gonna add like hostile chickens in the game? Yeah, I assume it's also for TI, yeah. Yeah. It just adds a sound for the chicken, right? Yeah. Random World Gen Town Planner removes some connections between pairs of districts to increase the amount of T and L and cap tiles. Okay. Radiation charge and infernal mutated zombies range attack now have increased distance, speed, and different patterns. The range attacks have increased distance, speed, and different patterns. Okay. Enemy AI now play an alert sound when they run away from either an entity or being hurt. Oh, so when you know, the wolves run away from you and stuff. Yeah. He covered those notes quite deeply. Maybe do a reaction to his video. Why can't I just go through it myself? Does he know something I don't? Conversion of L tile to a cap per district group unless a group would split. Stag and Doe now have roaming alert as well. Nice. Check the XMLs. All right. Changed. Remove the bone knife requirement for the animals harvest challenge. That is really nice because if you use the iron knife or the hunting knife, you would have to. It didn't work. So you have to make a bone knife to make it work. Updated loot list parameters include ignore loot abundance true for construction traits, hidden stash, and buried treasure. So this is a huge, terrible thing. I don't know why they're doing this. We have more exceptions now for loot abundance. I don't understand this. Why is this even a thing? Why is this even a setting in the game? Like, what they could do is they could separate normal loot to special loot. And then you can change your own percentages if you want to. But like, so now I guess the mod I'm using is not going to work now because it's still going to work for like construction crates, hidden stashes, and buried treasure, which I can only agree to one thing here is that maybe hidden stashes should have an exemption, but like construction crates, they're everywhere. And buried treasure, I don't know. It's just same thing with all of these things. If I play with lower loot, I want lower loot. Why is there exceptions? I think this is such a stupid thing. It really, frankly, pisses me off. Like, all right, well, moving on. Adjusted spawn groups to now snow biomes to include radiated charge and infernal chuck zombie variants. Does that mean that it's gonna have those others like in the world spawn, or like based on game stage or something? All right, I'll catch up a little bit. Is Norm, Subquick, Cyborg, Westfall? How you guys doing? You will find them day one. Infernal Chuck zombies on day one. Okay, well, we'll get to that. So same thing here, but for the mutated. So this is the thing. I skimmed through this real quick, right? So increase the snow biome game stage modifier from 2 to 3, and game stage bonus from 20 to 30. Increases the wasteland biome game stage modifier from 3 to 5, and then the modifier from 30 to 50. This number right here, 3 to 2 and 3 to 5, is that just the multiplier? If it is, like, I was already like on the fence when they changed it from like what, 2 to 3 in the wasteland. Now they changed it from freaking 3 to 5. Do you understand how stupid this is? So I go into the Wasteland with 10 game stage. I'm now going to have 50 plus 50. So I will have 100 game stage already in the Wasteland. The change is way too big. I think it's way too big. This is going the opposite of what I want. I think that biome should be more difficult, but it gets to a point where it's just like, this is so stupid. This is just so much added challenge for really no gain. Because why would you go into the Wasteland though, if you think about it? Like, why is the reason to go into the Wasteland? Yeah, there's a little bit higher loot stage, but like the loot stage versus the added game stage is absolutely astronomical. Or is this also going to scale with loot bonus? Because I see no loot bonus modifier tags here. Is it also a game stage modifier? Does that also affect loot? Even if it does, I still think it's way too aggressive of an increase. So what if so most people are not going to go into Wasteland on day one. They're going to do it like way later, right? Or like just think about it from like, you're on day 30, you have like 50, 60 game stage, you decide, oh, let's go into the Wasteland. And all of a sudden, you're going to have like 600 game stage going into the Wasteland. It's going to be impossible. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you shouldn't go from forest to Wasteland. I get that. But it's just, this is not how to do biomes. I think this is way too crazy. Okay, it's not going to be 600. It's going to be times 5, so it's going to be 300. Because it's going to be 250 plus 50. But going from 50 game stage to 300 game stage is absolutely insane. So Wasteland, they're really trying to lock Wasteland, right? They're really trying to lock it away until the very, very, very late game. Yeah. It's essentially like Snow Biome is a new Wasteland, and Wasteland is a new biome now with even higher multipliers. And in order to stop people from going in here, right, they've added now so the world spawns, meaning the Chuck and the Mutated, will also now have the Infernal upgrades. Meaning, you know, there's just going to be absolute madness on the ground as well, without even going into a building. But I guess this is what the pimps are doing now with the game. They're just they're making the biomes be way too different in terms of difficulty that it just feels off, to be honest. Yeah. This is going against the open world game that I know and love, right? Like, it's going to be impossible to go into the Wasteland now. Like, you can't even, like, dip your toes in it. It's just going to be absolute death. And yeah. Well, let's continue. Yeah, let's continue. The funny thing is, the next thing, adjusted the Wasteland weather to new and hot cold events. I mentioned this yesterday. I find it weird the Wasteland is not affected by temperature much. So now, and it should have, like, super high highs, super low lows. And it seems like, yeah, that's where we're getting. So... yeah, so that's cool. It's like I read their mind when I said that yesterday. It's like I knew. Refactor zombie experience progression based on HP and damage. So I thought this was already a thing, but I guess it's higher now. Reduce block damage on Steve Crawler and male hazmat hands to align better with other zombies in their group. Oh. Wait, did they do more block damage? I didn't know that. Or did they do less? Oh, they reduced block damage. Yeah, so they used to do more block damage. I actually didn't know that. Alright. Just a very zombie HP values to align better with other zombies in their group. Okay. That's probably gonna... What this means, probably, is every zombie that has low HP is gonna have higher HP now. Increase player kill XP. Removed legacy boss entity passive on rated utility. Oh! It was never a bug. It just had like a boss tag. Okay, that's good. So no longer are the radiated utility, the utility and the businessman going to do double damage because they used to. It says radiated specifically though, but it is the charge zombies that are the most stupid. So I assume this affects all of them. Yeah. Updated Chuck hand variants with new boulder projectiles have progressive enter damage and block damage. All right, that's kind of cool. So the boulder is going to do different amount of damage based on what variant it is. That kind of makes sense. Apiary thing. Dew collectors require jars, fuel type to produce water. Yeah, we went through that. No longer requires the crucible. Updated the hit mask override on Chuck Zombie hands to allow from arrow to rocket to prevent boulders from passing through bars. Okay. So they could actually chuck the stuff through bars because it was tagged as an arrow. Now it's tagged as a rocket, so it actually explodes. Test it? Test what? Well, the damage? Yeah, if it's already been done and there's already a billion YouTube videos for it, what's the point of me doing a YouTube video on this? Yeah, I was thinking about doing it, but yeah, I'm already so late to the thing, so what's the point? It's almost like some people have access to the notes before other people. Jerry Cup now has 5 mod slots. All right. Increased direwolf and zombie bear hearing and sight ranges. This is a great change because it's so often that you just see a bear like pretty much very close to you, but it just doesn't see you. So yeah, I think that's a good thing. Increased mutated zombie ranged attack damage. Is that entity or block damage? Probably both. And now the big highlight here is actually this. Bears can now fit through 1 by 2 meter openings. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But they were supposed to make the bear smaller, right? Yeah. Yeah. Snakes now have footstep sounds. Do they also have feet? Improved terrain blending topsoil is removed. Disable all harvest count penalty on several melee weapons that allow basic resource harvest such as plant fibers and wood and stone. Oh, so you can harvest like you can harvest with the club now because it used to be like if you hit like something like if you hit a bush with a club you would not get a wood, but now I guess you will. Update a harvest tag on several blocks for perk junk miner. Yep. Utilize update localization for armor perks to describe their loot based boosted items. Their loot boosted items. So they already glitched through, so they were like, okay, it's a feature now. They're supposed to. Do collect now with the input of 3 rows of 9 slots. Yeah. Replaced old buff names using logic to stage 2 storm buffs. Reduce completion requirements for several medical challenges to 5. If the challenge cannot be redeemed, 1 additional cure will trigger the completion. I think this is good though. This part, I don't know what the other part means, but this means that so many, like I've actually never done a full like challenge playthrough in this because some of the medical challenges are absolutely stupid. because most of them are 10. At least it's 5 now, so you only have to break your leg 5 times instead of 10 times. So I guess that's good. But if the challenge cannot be redeemed, one additional cure will trigger the completion. If it can't be redeemed, meaning that you don't like click on it for, like, you have to go to the trader, is that what you mean? I'm not sure what that means. And yeah, some of the fixes here, nothing is really standing out to me. It's pretty basic stuff. This one though, bear attack was hitting before animation hit. I cannot tell you how annoying this has been always, because I usually, when I play TI, right, like the bear kills you before it even, like, it just, when the paw is up here, you die, right? When the paw is up here, you know you're dead already, right? And so I guess that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And that's pretty much it out of the fixes. Okay, so what does stand out the most in this update? The fact that you need to use jars to produce water, and that you don't need the crucible to craft jars. I think that's the most thing to stand out initially. They added more exceptions for the loot abundance. I don't like this at all. They added a radiated charge, an infernal chuck, and mutated zombie variants to those biomes. I'm not sure how I feel about this, because it's going to be absolutely insane. But the biggest thing is, now the snow biome game stage modifier from 2 to 3, and then a flat bonus from 20 to 30. Meaning that snow biome is going to be crazier. Wasteland is going to even be crazier, because it's 3 to 5, right? It's 3 to 5. This is going the opposite of what I want for this game. They're locking the Wasteland by how ridiculous difficulty for really no reason. I'm not a huge fan of this at all. Adjust the Wasteland weather with new hot and cold events. This was needed because the Wasteland wasn't really affected by temperature. Remove the legacy boss entity tag from radiated utility worker and radiated business zombies. I think this also affects charge zombies. But yeah, they had like a bug, a boss tag that made them do double damage. So they actually did 300 damage instead of the supposed 150. So the next one in line is increased direwolf and zombie bear hearing sight ranges. This is pretty exciting. This should have been higher from the beginning. We'll see how that goes. Bears can now fit through 1 by 2 meter openings. That is gonna be pretty crazy. And yeah, that's all of the notable things that I think is important. Everything else is kind of meh. I don't really care. But the ones I just mentioned are things that change the game for the better or the worse. And I think that by far the worst thing they have done in this update is this whole thing. They changed it in 2.5, or was it 2.4, to be higher. And even then I was like, oh, this is not good. Now they're changing it even more. The discrepancy between forest and wasteland is so big now that it's just, the game is not as open anymore. It's become more of a, you know, go through the biomes as you're supposed to, instead of just like being able to go to other biomes. I mean, I'm sure it's still possible, but it's going to be very tedious, and especially with this thing. So you see this massive increase in game stage, right? You're going to see infernal chuck zombies and infernal mutated zombies, which are going to be absolutely madness to play, you know, and try to do that. I guess the game is more and more getting less balanced for insane, because I'm speaking from an insane point of view, as I'm an insane difficulty player for 99% of the time. So I'm complaining about something that's already difficult to be more difficult. I guess this is to balance out like the lower difficulties, because maybe when you go into the wasteland in the lower difficulties, maybe it just feels very meh, you know? So this is probably to increase the the better feeling on the lower difficulties as you're increasing the biomes, right? But I'm not a fan of this whole thing. I don't think game state should be this huge of a deal going into different biomes. Yeah. I do like the fact that there is a flat bonus though. I like the flat bonus increase. I think that's good, but it shouldn't be a multiplier. I think that's the mistake. The mistake is the multiplier, not the flat. So what I say, even increase the flat bonus to be like 100, but don't have a multiplier, right? So there's a big jump, right? If you want to do it early, because that's kind of what they want to do, right? They don't want you to like go into it right away and get like good loot, right? But I mean, the multiplier is scaling with your game stage itself. But like, I would prefer if there was a less of a multiplier and more of a flat bonus. Just so that it is difficult, very difficult right away, but like it's still like you can still overcome it as you are getting into the mid game. But because it's a multiplier as well, it's always gonna be the same kind of difficulty, right? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have different opinions about this. I never liked this part. I think even, to be honest, I think they even should get rid of the loot stage bonus. Give us another reason to go into the biomes. Not because of loot, not because of added difficulty, because there's something in that biome that's unique to that biome that you need, right? That's what the biome should be about. They should be the unique things, not difficulty. I mean, yes, they could be slightly more difficult, but I don't think they should be like, oh yeah, so you go from the forest to the all right, I'm just gonna move on. Uh The fun bims and pre-builds got beef. I doubt he got early access content. How long has this been out already? When was this released? Doesn't say a specific time, but yeah. Day one wasteland? Oh, it's still possible. It's still possible because it's a multiplier that's the most effective, not the flat bonus. Hey, Vineyard. Hey, make it. They just nerf melee builds and making use of guns more necessary on all difficulties. So if you have loot stage 50 and go... Well, I don't think the loot stage will scale the same. But I guess that needs to be tested. I do Saber, I do Crims. Hey, Heretic. When did you last time loot an item you want to use instead of crafting it? Oh, I've been talking about this a lot. You craft it way before you find what you want. It was on my other playthrough, though, because I waited to craft things and I went into the desert. And because I spent so much time in the desert, I eventually found the items I was supposed to craft. But it took some time. It took some time. I want unique loot for each biome. I want there to be, like, the biome should be more tied to, like a story. Like, I've said this plenty of times before. What if there's an item or a quest that needs to be done in each biome to then give you a thing to then craft, and that is what ultimately unlocks, you know, like the end game, and meaning that like the end of the story. So you have to go to all the biomes and like do one specific quest there or something, and then you get it. Like, that could be a cool main story thing. The post in forums. Oh, so right as I ended the stream yesterday. Oh, okay, so it's already been out for almost 18 hours then. Okay. Well, Poop Knife is different because Poop Knife is not tied to loot stage. It's completely like just random, which I love, by the way. I think the stats behind the Poop Knife and the pistol is great because it's just things that you can get. Super low chance, but you can get it at one loot stage, right? I think more items should be like this so you can actually like kind of tailor your playthrough because of it. Yeah, the pistol. Yeah, exactly. This works perfectly in Valheim, and I absolutely despise Valheim and the way that progression is done. Yeah. I can't not think. I think Valheim v Rising, it's just, oh, I hate it. I hate how progression is done. Okay, moving on. Let's get into the game. Red lines of text? No, I'm not updating to 2.6. No. No. We're not playing 2.6. There's absolutely no reason to. I have finally found a group of mods that I find make the game so much fun right now. I'm not going to update to break half those mods. No. There's nothing significant enough in the 2.6 update that I feel like I have to update to. Honestly, on the contrary, I don't want 2.6. Yeah. 2.5 was an amazing update. It was like if I was playing something else and 2.5 came out, I would drop it immediately and play 2.5. 2.6, it's a very small little patch that doesn't mean anything. Even though I got very upset by the modifiers. But yeah. Oh, Knife Mania! Oh, thank you for reminding me. I did forget. Ah, yes. Knife Mania. Yes. Let's check that out. Got it right here, in fact. Gappy. Let's add that in there. Awesome. That's why you didn't play V2, 2.0 until 2.5 draft. Yeah. Okay. Just gotta relog the game. Jalm, how you doing, by the way? Welcome on in. Yeah, so just to be very clear, what I don't like, I like my open world games to be open. I don't want to, like, have to have bronze armor. Or, sorry, I don't want to have, like, I have my little rags, right? I go into the next biome. Oh, now there's a new resource there, copper. So now I mine copper. And I have to make copper armor to go to the next biome, which now has iron. So now I have to make iron armor to go to the next biome. I just don't like that. The game is on rails. I'm not a fan at all. Honestly, though, I cannot tell you what I would want more, like how I would do it personally. I just don't like how everything is tied to like a specific resource inside a biome, and then you have to go to the next biome to like match the difficulty there. You know, where everything is based on like gear score and all that shit. You know? I want the biomes to have unique resources, but I want like all of the biomes to matter at all times. Does that make sense? Like, I want because a game like Valheim, once you get past the copper stage, copper is not used for anything. I know you make like bronze because of tin, but like later on, copper is like not something you need, right? I'm like 99% positive. The thing is, I think all resources should be useful at all times in the game. Like, yes, you can unlock more resources to be able to craft more gear, but the previous resource shouldn't be made redundant. It should still be needed in a bunch of recipes, so that everything, all the biomes still matter. It's not just the biome you're in that matters. And how I would do it in this, I mean, I would make it so each biome had different resources, but I would not make it like mandatory to get those resources to get to the next biome. It would be more about like the fact that I want you to open up biomes so now you can get those resources to potentially get upgrades, but I don't need to get those upgrades. I don't have to get those upgrades. It just makes my life easier, you know? Because I don't know, there's probably some like super good player out there that just goes naked into the last biome in Valheim and just fine. Yeah, but like for most people, that's probably impossible, right? ABF Factor actually does it quite well because you need, even in the end game, a lot of earlier resources. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I like Undead Legacy so much. It makes use of all resources at all times in the game. And we've had this conversation before, Subquake, and that's why you like Abiotic Factor so much, and that's why that's how you made Undead Legacy. Like I think we're on the same page about this. How progression should be done. Yeah, so unfortunately, it's just nighttime here as we're getting in. I have killed 24 zombies, and I've not gotten hit yet. I just want to let you know that those are the facts. I have not gotten hit at all of day one. So I'm going to keep playing very carefully. And it looks like I'm going to go knives, because I have used this knife so much that I am about to unlock the hunting knife. Oh, okay, well, okay, I'm not really close to it, but you know. Which means he won't make it to 25 before getting hit. I'm totally going to get hit on the next zombie now, because I'm like out of it, you know? I was really in the zone yesterday. We got 2 bikers over there. I could try to sneak the loot here where Grace is. Fresh run. Yep, it is practically a fresh run. I will remove the fresh run tag from the title once I got past like day 4 or something. Or day 7, I guess. Yep, I'm doing it. Nope, shit. Ah, damn it. Okay, can you get up there now? Oh, don't die to the spikes. Damn you. All right, well. Okay, what do I need for more arrows? I need stones. Let's try to get some stones. There's another biker there. Great. Okay, I'm gonna do this then. I'm gonna hope that this is... Oh, it's clay. Hey, Riser. Oh, yeah, you get it a little bit. Stone here. Yeah, they spawn a little bit too often. I'm totally gonna get hit by the first zombie here. course he raged! Of course he raged! Dude, did you see how fast she was? That was absolutely insane. I'm devastated. Oh, dude, I was like really excited. Oh. 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 I wasn't supposed to do that. Wow, this is all going to shit. Thank you, Clever. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of sad. Oh! Yeah, they removed the... Yeah, that was no joke. Oh, hey. Oh, nice. Thanks, Eric. How you doing today? So 2.5 gives the ability to pick which biome to start in. Actually, didn't. You were still always spawning in the forest. Why is it so slow? I know, it's so weird why it's so slow. It should be super fast, right? Not super fast, but it should be a lot faster than that. Okay, well, what's important is that we're still alive, right? Right. Now, to be honest, I kind of hate it. I kind of hate it. This is so jacked, she can't move. That might be it. That might be it. Okay, I think I'm just gonna run for it. Yeah, because it's gonna make a lot of noise over here because they're gonna be smashing so many metal objects and stuff. Hey, Blizzy. Hey, Matthew. Tonya. Ephils. Strider. Raise Didi. I hope I'm not missing anyone there. Hope you guys doing well. I think I'm just gonna run for it and hit up that cabin over there. At this point, what's there to lose? Like, this is not like, oh, this is an amazing playthrough or anything. If I still hadn't gotten hit, I would consider playing it safe. But at this point, why play it safe? Let's go for it. There's a lot of food around here. That's good. Indica, what's up? Get stamina up with food. Well, I got full health. Well, okay. Well, the way to reduce my health but still get food is to eat fat. This is why fat's become like my new favorite thing. Yeah, so whenever you got full health but need food, fat is your best friend. Speaking of fat, there's more over here. Because then you can fill up your health again by eating the good food. AKA yucca. What's a knife mania for? It's oh yeah, cool. Let's take a look at that, by the way. Knife Mania. It's a new book for knives. Look at this. This should be like vanilla. I would tweak some of these numbers though, but really cool. Extra damage to bleeding targets. Harvest 25% more resources from animals. Knives degrade slower. Knives ignore 20% of enemy armor. That's pretty cool. Extra bleeding stacks. So regular knife attacks have a 50% chance to add an extra bleeding stack. Power attacks always do. Nice. It doesn't add like more total, but just like per hit. So you can add more. You can stack up faster. Negative 15 visibility when crouching. Sneak attacks deal 25% damage. Quick strike combo. So this is the borrowed from the spear book series, and then Lucky 7, which is borrowed from the fortitude thing. Yeah. It's a little crazy though. Each knife kill grants you 20% run speed. Does that stack, though? If that stacks, that might be absolutely insane, but... Just remember the bandage glitch. Right. I have 4 of those right now, but I'm not going to be using it, so... I think I'm just going to keep... Yeah, this sounds hilarious. I don't think I really hope it doesn't, because that's just going to be absolute madness. You have it for 7 seconds. Do you realize how many kills you can get in 7 seconds? Or, I bet a kill just refreshes the duration, though. That's what I would assume that it does. Takes like 25 seconds to kill. Yeah, now. But in the late game? Early game knife, so OP. Oh yeah, the knife is just the best. The hunting knife is my favorite weapon in the game. Way more so than the machetes, just because I love weapons that can be strong early game. Machete is obviously better than the hunting knife, but you're not going to get the machete for a good while, so. And the hunting knife you can get on day 1. Yeah, imagine that knife mania with the machete, how many decaps you're going to get. I assume that it just refreshes the duration, though, and nothing else. Come on, cooking pot. Cooking pot. Cooking pot at 25% loot is absolute astronomical numbers that I will never get. But you gotta believe, guys. You gotta believe. Need nitrate. Hey, Maneke, what's up? I'm gonna do that. Fix this up real quick. Oh, guys, hunting knife. It could have been a hunting knife. Oh. I saw me downstairs. I wonder, I mean, I've never thought about this, but you could use these railings to make a pretty decent defense. If they're gonna get stuck like that. You guys use that? I never used that stuff. Those railings like that. Like just for like a day one defense, or like a not like a horde night defense, but just for I guess clearing an area. It could be really cool. Hey Henrik, what's up? I'm still not 100% sure if I'm gonna go knives, by the way. I still have not leveled deep cuts. And I'm at a point right now where I'm gonna have like, yeah, I'm gonna have 3 skill points, pretty much. Almost. Yeah, we'll scrap it. Those fans since yesterday in the Corvus are pretty strong. Oh yeah, they're pretty crazy. Okay, well, we got a base, guys. We just need to take away the stairs, and then we also need to clear the bottom, the basement. What weapon would you use if you aren't going knives? Most likely, I would go knuckles, because I have a... Probably, knuckles is probably the weapon I use the least in this game. Even though they are really strong, it's just because they are the hardest weapon to start with. Yeah, and I think that's definitely the main reasons why I don't use it. Like, I would say knives are the easiest weapon to start with. Hate the half... Hey, Ortiz. What's the Friday flavor for games? We're gonna try Windrose tomorrow. See what the hype is all about. Witsit gets it. But tomorrow's TI Friday. No. Only every other Friday. Were you gearing up for it? Ah. Beware of crabs. I'll stay away from those wenches then. I guess you have the time off tomorrow as well, right? The work off. And you can finally hang out for a TI Friday? Yeah, that's poor timing, unfortunately. But we'll see. Maybe the game is awful. If the game is awful, I guess we'll switch to TI, but... So the game's pretty nice. I said what if? Just because everybody says it's good doesn't mean that I think it's good. Okay, well, it sucks from, like, my perspective, I suppose. That's a fair thing to say. Like, what if it's just not a game for me? What if the game is just, From what I saw, it kind of looks like Enshrouded, but with, like, a pirate mod. When a beta has 20k current players, it can't be bad. Yeah, beta, isn't it a demo only? Or do you have to get access to the beta somehow? I thought it was a demo. But yeah, a demo with 20,000 players, that's absolutely insane. Well, I'm just gonna do that. Do this. Yeah. You're not allowed to dislike anything. You're an influencer. Influencer are not like to dislike things? What? Not allowed to dislike things? Has a Valheim feel to it. Ooh. That is not my cup of tea. Okay, well, I need to do everything I can right now to get a cooking pot. This run is probably gonna be over because I have no water. Like, I could run over here, I guess, and just drink out of the pool. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. Do I have, do I have any vitamins? I do have vitamins. Okay, okay. Okay, it lives, I guess. It lives. I could eat the eggs raw. Raw and regularly. Yep, I'm gonna eat some of those. I'm gonna eat 3 eggs. Actually, no, I'm gonna eat more fat to lower my health so I can eat more food. I'm gonna eat all the fat. Okay. Construction is pretty Valheim-ish, but the gameplay is better. Nice. Oh no, I ate too much! I ate too much! No. No, I wasted like 1 egg there. Rip. Rip. Long Dark? I have played Long Dark. I think it's a cool game, but the inventory management is way too tedious for my liking. It gets a little bit too realistic if you... Like, I don't like it when you're juggling through, like... Oh, now it's been so long since I played it, but yeah, I just didn't like the inventory management. The atmosphere and the gameplay is fun. Last chapter. Oh my god. Maybe I will finally play it, like, for real. Like, to really get into it. Yeah. I played Green Hell. I got about 300 hours in Green Hell. I decided to play the DLC, the Spirits of Amazonia, like, 100%. Like, to do all of it without dying on the hardest difficulty. That took so long that it made me absolutely hate the game. Because the base game for Green Hell is really good, and it's like maybe a, what, like 40-50 hour playthrough. It's really nice. But if you play the DLC, it's the most tedious bag of shit that you'll ever play. I do not recommend the DLC. The DLC is just like, just super stretched out gameplay. And yeah, and I got through it, but god damn it, by the end of it, I was like, I'm never gonna play this game again. Oh, that's not good. Oh my god, my stamina is so bad. Jonah loses a little bit of his soul each time 7 days after a bad update. Yeah, I'm not liking the 2.6 update. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. But it's kind of a harmless update, but they're leaning it. You know, when they added the Radiated and the Infernals, the Infernals and the Charged Zombies, I was so against it. Like, this is terrible. Right? Now they're just leaning more into it. You never did the DLC. Don't. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I mean, I'm actually kind of impressed that they managed to get so much gameplay out of a DLC, though, because the DLC is absolutely massive in terms of content. But it is essentially just repetitive stuff. So I wouldn't recommend it in the least. Okay, so how many times do I have to drink? Well, I should drink all of it and then just use a first aid. Yeah, because you all know that when you drink, you know, dirty water, you can just use a bandage and it's all good, right? Right. We're gonna separate it so we don't use 2 of them. Okay, we're pretty much back on track right now. We need to get to the housing area, so I actually have to go over here instead. So we have to go the opposite. They're turning into Darkness Falls. Survival 101. It's all about min-maxing on 25% loot. I'm doing good, Braid. How are you doing? Thank you very much for the 73 months. That's crazy. With tier 3. I want to get the fat. Turn the other way. Shoo. Shoo. Damn it. Okay, I'll deal with him. Would you stop? Would you stop? Hey, see? Freaking Legolas over here. You totally didn't see that first arrow. Good to hear, Braid. my god, my foot has fallen asleep. You know when you're really like a limb really does fall asleep and it feels like static? Does that make sense? Like, you know, like static TV? Like, you know, like when it's just the ant war. You know what I mean? What's it called? Is it called static? Pins and needles. Yeah, but if I were to put it into a picture, it would be that picture. Maybe our foot is a TV. Yeah. It's paralyzed. Yeah. But it's just paralyzed very, very temporarily. So I guess fallen asleep is the correct word. Yeah, white noise, static, yeah. How long would the limb would have to be like without blood, right? To cause damage? Does anybody know? Because that's always what I'm thinking about. Like if you like when I was a kid, I used to like sleep on my arm weirdly very often. I would always wake up with like I couldn't move my arm. I was like, ah, you know. And I was always worried like how long has it been like that? And how long can it be like that before it's like causing like some sort of type of muscle damage? Because eventually it will be bad, right? But I'm sure it's like very, very long. How about 2 to 3 days? Oh, okay. Then I think we're good. Do you ever wake in the night with an arm completely dead because you had it over your head? Yeah. Yep. Usually what I would do, I would have both my arms like this under the pillow like that, and when I wake up like I couldn't move any of my arms. I couldn't move my arms because we're both dead. It's kind of weird. There's like no zombies around here. But it always, like I mentioned before, it takes like a second for the walker sim to like catch up. You woke up once when you were 20, and it was sure it was actually dead. Only to experience it so often from that day. That was like your first time. Oh well. Okay, guys. Okay. Now we're good for a while. We good. No way, dude! What? First we find the water and then we find the cooking pot? Oh my god, this run is happening, guys. It's happening. It is on. Okay. I think we should just go back. Oh. No, we're gonna wait. We're gonna keep exploring. called Zombie Arm. Kaya, what's up? My right hand little finger was sleeping for 5 years from when you were 27 to 32. It happened after sleep, and I got no clue how the nerve got unstuck one day, and just noticed I wasn't sleeping anymore. 5 years is absolutely insane. I've actually had something similar in my big toe, but it wasn't 5 years. It was like a couple of months. Like, I completely lost, like, any sort of... I could move my toe, but I had absolutely no feeling in it. Like, it felt like it was asleep. Like, my big toe, I think it was on my right foot. It was back when I was used to work on my knees a lot, and you would have your toe would be bent, like, because you would, you know. And it was from continuously doing that at work. And that eventually led to a point where, like, I just couldn't feel my toe anymore. And it stayed like that for months. Crazy that you said that, because I completely forgot about that my toe fell asleep for like 4 months. My right leg is sleeping since early 2023. You had a herniatic disc with an injury back nerve, and it will be permanent. Wait, can you not use your leg? Or can you use it, but you can't, like, feel it? Or what? What's happening? What happened, though? You can, but it's like sleeping all the time. So it's a very annoying sensation, because I know how that feels in my toe, but that was my toe, you know? You don't really need your toe, you use it for balance, but... Yeah, so did you injure your back, or just what happened? Yeah, we found water, and we find the cooking pot. It's like that move where he smacks a fire rake into the foot because the person says no feeling in the foot. Which movie is that? Took a longer... He said a few weeks, and it took 5 years. Yeah. Ah, I see, I see. Like at the gym, or just by lifting stuff? You once stubbed your big toe so hard, your nail came off? Yeah, this happened a couple of times in my life. You have to regrow your entire toenail. Jim Carrey movie? That does ring a bell. But I can't really see it in front of me. The only thing I'm thinking of when he gets like an arrow to the thigh in Ace Ventura. That's what I'm thinking of. But he definitely can feel it. Okay, let's cook this up. Right. I made a mistake of not scooping up water. Where's the closest water? It's either down... That's probably the closest point, or I go